These are the answers to 1.6 shapes of molecules and ions. So question 1, in which of the following molecules are the bond angles closest to 107? We know that ammonia is 107, so right away you should be able to answer that. The answer is D. We know that in BF3 it's trigonal planar, so that is 120. In methane it's 109.5 because it's tetrahedral, and in water we have that bent shape, so it's 104.5. So the answer is D, ammonia. So which one of the molecules contains the smallest bond angle? So again, you should know straight away it's this one, SF6, but if we think about the angles in here, linear molecule 180, this one 120, and then methane 109.5 because tetrahedral. So we know that the SF6 is the smallest bond angle, with each of them being 90 degrees. So in question 3 it says phosphorus and nitrogen are in group 5 periodic table. Nitrogen forms a hydride called ammonia, and the hydride of phosphorus is called phosphine, pH 3. So you should immediately realise that phosphine is going to be just like ammonia. So we're drawing exactly the same thing. It's a dot and cross diagram showing the bonding in phosphine. So instead of nitrogen in the middle we have phosphorus, and it has 5 electrons of its own, and then it has 3 hydrogens around it. Then draw and name the shape of a phosphine molecule. So that's what we're looking for here. The phosphorus with 3 hydrogens kind of sticking out the bottom of it, and the name of that is pyramidal. Okay, then explain why a phosphine molecule has the shape you have drawn. So we need to talk about the lone pair and bonding pairs of electrons. So we have 1 lone pair and 3 bonding pairs. Of electrons, and they repel to be as far apart as possible. And then, so that's for 1 mark. For your second mark, we're going to say about the repulsion between the lone pair and bonding pairs is greater. I think I might just fit this in. Than the repulsion between bonding pairs. So that's for your second mark. Then suggest a value for the bond angles in phosphine and explain your answer. Well, suggesting a value of 107, you know that that's the value in ammonia, and you're going to say that it's less than the expected 109.5 degrees due to the greater repulsion of the lone pair. So 1 mark for the suggestion of the value and 1 mark for your explanation. Draw, name and explain the shape of the SF6 molecule. So we've got our sulfur in the middle, and then 1, 2, 1 up, 1 down, and then we have the 4 going out around this square plane in the middle. So you're going to get 1 mark when drawing it, and then your other marks are for kind of your explaining. So and naming. So octahedral gets you your second mark. And then you need to talk about the bonding pairs of electrons. And they repel each other. That's for 1 mark. And the final mark is to be as far apart as possible. So that's 4 marks. So remember, if you're asked to do different things in the question, like draw, name and explain, you have to do all of those things to get the full marks. Finally, suggest why SF6 is a non-polar molecule even though it contains polar bonds. So the reason for that is because the molecule is symmetrical. And because it's symmetrical, then the dipoles, or you could say the polarity of the bonds, they cancel each other. So 1 mark for saying that.